Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your daily dose of zombies news from the game and its community here on COD Zombies HQ. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We've got actually a lot to talk about, so let's go right ahead, get into it with our first story of the day. Treyarch released a major new update for Cold War Zombies today, where in said update, right off the top, they referenced their line in the Season 5 patch notes that announced that they're adding some side Easter eggs within Mauer Der Toten. Now, when mimics started to show up on the map unannounced, a lot of people figured that the new surprises that they were adding into the map itself was the addition of the mimics, and we were all collectively disappointed. But Treyarch wants to allay our concerns, where they say this. There is also a little something we added to Mauer Der Toten last week that still hasn't been discovered. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of fun. Let us know on Twitter when you think you found it. So this does confirm that the addition of mimics aren't the little Easter egg they added, that it still hasn't been discovered. And furthermore, we should kind of temper our expectations perhaps, where they do claim that the side Easter egg will be nothing crazy and just a little bit of fun. So it seems like my own personal kind of gut reaction of this situation holds true. The community was asking for some more difficult to find Easter eggs be added into their zombies maps to elongate the hunt for these Easter eggs a little bit, and they seem to have done that with this new small egg, which means that the first in the world to find it is still up for grabs, and Treyarch wants to know who will be the first person to find it. If that person turns out to be you, definitely shoot them a message at them on Twitter, at a bunch of YouTubers, to make sure you get the credit you rightfully deserve if you end up being the first to find this thing. I'm very excited to find out what the reward for the Easter egg will be. I would imagine that already on the map we have the Aether tool Easter egg, which enables you to increase the rarity of your weapon automatically once you complete that Easter egg. Maybe this Easter egg will reward you in a chalice that we've only seen in the Onslaught mode prior to this, which will automatically pack a punch your weapon up one level. But of course, that's all speculation until this thing is found. But that's not all they changed in this update, where first off, there was a whole bunch of crashing issues, specifically on PC, but I've seen it on other platforms, relating to a bunch of new stuff in this update. But Treyarch says that they fixed ability issues related to the death perception perk, outbreak world events, outbreak jump pads, and the disciple enemy, which was added into Outbreak as of Season 5. But that's not all they changed within the mode itself, where before the update came out, we didn't know what the Omega helicopter was. Obviously now we know, but Treyarch says they've added some improvements to the triggering conditions for the Omega helicopter, where sometimes the helicopter will spawn into the map, but it spawns in way too far away for you to take it down, and it's outside of the map before you even got a chance to catch up to it. Next, they say they've addressed an issue that prevented the player from receiving the correct amount of salvage from the Omega helicopter when death perception is equipped. If you weren't aware, one of the upgraded tiers for death perception enables you to get 20% more salvage from each pickup, which means you'll get 12 salvage instead of the normal 10 you get from a base salvage drop. Well, the Omega helicopter drops rare and legendary salvage, which is a whole lot more than just 10. Obviously wasn't applying the 20% boost before, but now it is. And lastly, they say that they've addressed an issue that caused the Omega helicopter to unintentionally spawn and activate on initial player spawn locations. So you spawn to an outbreak map and boom, the Omega helicopter's right above you. It was kind of nice because you could instantly take it down very quickly, giving you a nice little boost of salvage right off the bat. No longer, however, that chopper is now going to spawn far away from you somewhere on the map. Next up, Treyarch says that they've addressed an issue that prevented the Holdout objective lighting from turning off after completing that objective on collateral. So normally when you're in a Holdout objective, you get sent to the Dark Aether Skybox. I guess perhaps this is what it's referring to, that when you returned back from that objective on collateral, you would stay within the Dark Aether Skybox, but Treyarch says that they've now changed that. That would be pretty cool. If anybody has any footage of that, definitely let me know. Next, they say they've addressed an issue that prevented the Disciples' Drain attack beam from appearing when used against outbreak targets. So if you have a defend objective, you get a Disciple-y boy that spawns in, and he starts to damage your objective via his long-ranged attack, you wouldn't know before this patch. You would just see the health of your objective going down, and have no idea what's causing it, I would imagine this would have ended more than a few Outbreak runs before this has been patched, so a very welcome change there. Next up, and this is kind of interesting, so I don't think they've really done this before, at least dating it, but Treyarch is now dating certain things within the patch notes that they missed in prior patch notes. So for example, almost a week ago now, we covered that the Gersh device, the Kazimir, had its salvage cost reduced from 2,000 to 1,500, but only now in this update are they letting us know about this. I guess they forgot about it. Everyone's human. Communications between the developers and the actual people releasing these patch notes updates sometimes don't have all the information. So for those of you that missed it when we figured it out the first time, yes, the cost has been reduced, and they've also addressed an issue that allowed the duplication of the Gersh device as well. Also, in the same vein of letting us know stuff that we already know about, they did include write-ups for the specific new Easter egg feature that allows you to keep your current camo when trying to pap your weapon, which is done by meleeing the pap machine before you want to pap a level to maintain your current camo. And lastly, this was nice to see when the Season 5 update came out. They added a train inbound notification to subtitles when a train is approaching in Mauer for players with hearing loss. This was in response to some Reddit threads from players that either weren't able to have their volume up or suffering from some kind of hearing loss that would just get instantly down when the subway trains underneath Mauer with no actual prior notice before. The only way to figure out they were coming was listening to the audio cues. That has now changed with a train inbound notification in the subtitles. So definitely just a neat gesture of goodwill and a thumbs up from Treyarch for listening to the community there. Next up, during Treyarch's recent Season 5 broadcast with the developers, a secret code was found hidden throughout that video that when entered into the official Call of Duty site rewards you with a exclusive calling card. Treyarch has actually done this in the past. I'm sure not many people are going to claim this secret calling card. Thanks to Andy for finding it out. I'll leave a link to the actual code and the official COD website where you can actually redeem it down in the description of this video. But next up, in one of my recent videos, we covered the leak that Treyarch is going to be taking on the lead development role for the Zombies mode in the upcoming COD game, COD Vanguard. Well, while Vanguard's official reveal via a Warzone event is still a few days away, the leak of Treyarch being involved in the game's development has been confirmed, as they are included amongst a bunch of other Call of Duty support studios that are working on COD Vanguard. I think that this is actually probably the biggest Zombies news event that affects the future of this game mode that we've had in a very, very long time. And looking towards the future, notorious leaker Tom Henderson said this: "I believe the plan might be for Treyarch just to work on zombies across all of the Call of Duty titles in the future for the story, etc., and to help build the bigger plan for zombies in the future. It's still too early to comment on / get people hyped about, but there is a lot in the pipeline." And when he's talking about there's a lot in the pipeline, he is in fact referring to the Zombies Standalone game, which he leaked to be in early development early this year. So make no mistake here, he is in part speculating about the future of the Treyarch Zombies team role. I saw some people confused about his comments, being like, oh, well, does that mean Treyarch is only going to be involved in making the Zombies modes in the future and will never have a Treyarch-led COD game? No, that's not what he means. I think he's referring to the fact that the Treyarch Zombies team will basically become its own distinct entity within Treyarch and work on releasing a new version of the Zombies mode each year, totally independent on whatever the rest of the Treyarch devs are working on for their next Black Ops title to be released in 2023. Like I said in the video dedicated to this project, which I would 100% recommend you watch after this one to get a better understanding of just how important this is. I know some people, because of this news, are very concerned about the quality of future Zombies modes in COD if Treyarch is going to be the only one responsible for delivering a new version of that Zombies mode every single year. And I think that is definitely a valid concern, but you'd hope that Activision would give Treyarch the support as a studio, increase the size of the Zombies team in order to make them actually able to pull this off, and that we don't see a repeat of what we saw in Cold War with only one Zombies map releasing at the launch of the game. I know a lot of you and myself find that frankly unacceptable, and I say that seeing Cold War personally as a top 3 Zombies game of all time. The Treyarch Zombies team has shown they have the chops to consistently make the cooperative elements of COD games interesting, and to be honest, where a lot of people are concerned about this news, I am cautiously optimistic about this, and I'm excited to see what Treyarch is cooking up for the Vanguard Zombies mode. Next up on this edition of Outbreak vs. Vehicles. Being introduced into the Outbreak game mode, it was only a matter of time before we got to see some wackiness with it, and wackiness we do see where Blazing Dog over on Twitter got a little bit too close to the Orda Boss Zombie and paid the price, flinging him across the map and into the trees, and while he was able to recover from this, Huntex14 over on Reddit was not so lucky, where instead of being blasted off a fair distance from the Orda Stomp in his tank, he gets sent into the stratosphere and into the Shadow Realm, ending his game prematurely. So if you're ever in a tank and you're trying to fire off rounds at that Orda, be very careful to not let it near you, or you might be going on an Outbreak versus Vehicles ride of your own sometime soon. But guys, that wraps up the news today. I want to thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you did enjoy it, consider leaving a thumbs up on the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I am using a temporary setup to make some vids over the next 2 weeks, so if the audio sounds slightly different, that's why. But guys, I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news video tomorrow. Peace.